Hey people, what's going on? It's Jameel. Alright, now I want to talk a little bit more about my experience. Now, I made a bunch of videos saying how to beat gang stalking. That's real. I beat it. Anybody else can beat it. Just get a hold of me for more information. One of the methods I use is using my experience. Not just my experience of the gang stalking, but my experience of how I got there, and then my experience of absorbing it, and then my experience of beating it. And anywhere I go, it doesn't matter where I go. I can go to a really nice neighborhood, a really questionable neighborhood, violence, all that stuff. I can go anywhere. I can go around doctors and lawyers. They're going to know who I am. It's going to come down. I can go around somebody homeless on the street. They're going to know who I am. It's going to come down. And so I realized that my experience of my life is much bigger than anything else. Very few people can walk in a room, no matter who's in the room. It could be the President of the United States of America, or like I said, it could be some homeless Vietnam veteran. Either one is going to know who I am before I get there. They're going to know I'm coming in there, And so the gang stalking thing, it just completely blew me away. And, my experience, like very few people, I can go up to people and just start talking to them and just start rapping with them and tell them, yeah, my name's JAMEEL RAWLS, I'm famous, JAMEELRWLS. Then I start telling them about my experience of the conspiracy research. People just are fast. People say stuff that kind of shocks me. Say, you actually been to Hollywood? I'm like, yeah, anybody can, that's not like, it's like a city just like any other city in America. It doesn't really look too much incredible than any other city. And so it's amazing to me why people, they see my story, the stuff I point out to them, I realize it's much bigger than what I thought it was. I'm used to all my stuff, and so when I hit people with it, just like, wow. And then now, I go around people, and I just tell them. And when I come back around, everybody knows who I am, and I use that beneficial. I tell people, how I beat my circumstance, how they can beat their circumstance, no matter what it is. I had an experience. I went with a friend last night, went over a house. I didn't know anybody there. Of course, they were somewhat quasi-involved with the gang stalking stuff, but my story, my experience was 10 times bigger than that. But after I told them my experience, they looked at me different. They judged me different. People hear about, things like conspiracy theories and Illuminati and world powers. They hear about stuff like movie stars being affiliated with it. Rock and roll musicians, rappers, they hear about stuff like that, but very often actually meet somebody who's been down that road and experienced that high level of energy of it, and has managed to stick around, for the glory of it, to be able to tell somebody else about it. And so that's so amazing to me, is to be able to tell people and see how they react to it, because every time I tell somebody and they absorb it, it changes their life. They look at themselves different. They look at possibilities different. They look at everything around them changes. And so I realize I have a lot of influence over people now. And, I try to use that to help people. For people who don't know what gang stalking is, gang stalking has become the aftermath of that part of my life, the conspiracy research. I'm not really interested. I don't do conspiracy research anymore. I just grew out of it. But my experience of my journey through conspiracy research and the aftermath of it, that whole experience within itself is just very, it's very giving. And there's a lot of people out there that go through gang stalking that, they want to beat it. I'm going to help them no matter what, 110%. Don't keep, now instead of saying keep the ball rolling, keep the ball rowling, like JAMEEL RAWLS. So keep the ball rowling, and, it's just been incredible. It's just been incredible to be able to sit down and talk to people. And one of the biggest things that excites me is, like, my taste in things has gone up. Like, before this whole experience, of course I like women, but I was just like, just interested in, like, sexual experiences and just talk. I mean, I still am, but I was interested in just, like, I'm from Michigan. I'm a common person, a simple person. I was interested in very simple stuff. Now, through the gang stalking, I mean, they really stepped it up, and they were using women that were just completely mind-blowing. I mean, they look like, every now you'll see one of them. I mean, yesterday there was a woman, she was doing the gang stalking stuff, and she was interacting with, she was looking at me, and she was smiling and stuff, and I could tell, I mean, she had a nice car. She looked like she was in her 30s. She looked like a model from Switzerland or something like that. And I realized this is happening to me for a reason. These are the type of people I'm going to be interacting with in my future. I'm not going to be interacting, you know, before when I was doing my conspiracy research, you know, I'm just sitting in my room all day on the computer talking about the CIA. Now I'm out there really interacting with people. Everybody knows who I am where I go. You know, my taste in things has just gone up, and I don't know. You know, it's very perplexing. It's very, very perplexing because it's just the experience of it is just mind blowing. And so it's like I'm learning to deal with different types of people. I'm learning how to take in different types of energy. You know, I'm learning different types of experience. You know, a few months ago, you know, last year, you know, women of that high of caliber, I wasn't used to dealing with, you know, women of that high of caliber. Now it's changed. Now the gang stalking people have set it up, man. I mean, these chicks are coming around me. I mean, they look like, you know, they just walked out of Playboy magazine or something like that. And so I'm learning. This is challenging me. I'm having to learn how to deal with that. How do I connect with a female that high of caliber? Tell her my experience, and still, you know, be able to make my experience just as valuable as whatever she's bringing to the table. You know, that's pretty. It's pretty. You know, it is hard work. It's hard work, but it's pretty cool. It's my whole life has changed. It's like I'm on a level now of like brain surgeons, lawyers, stuff like that. Not because I got some incredible skill, but because of my experience, what I know, what I can bring to the table, what I can help people with in their life. You know, and so you know, it's very interesting. You know, and I just got to be honest with you. I got to be thankful. I got to be thankful, even though the people that I offended, very, very, very most powerful people in the world. I have to be thankful for the gang stalking thing, because it had not been for that, you know, my life wouldn't be. My life is 10 times better, man. Just 10 times better all around. I don't worry about nothing. No matter where I go, everybody knows who I am. No matter what neighborhood I go to, the people around me, my experience out trumps it. Even if the people are looking at me like I'm questionable, they don't know what to make of me. As soon as I drop my experience, it's just as valuable as money. They're just like, wow, that really happened? Wow. And they can tell by interacting with me, this is real. Then I say, all you gotta do is Google me. Just Google my name, go listen to all my stuff on the internet, you know, and check it out. And, you know, people are like, yeah. So it's almost like I have taken the conspiracy theorist thing as being, I don't know, like just as valid as a professional career, just as valid as being, you know, like a police officer, just as valid as being a lawyer, just as valid, you know, the experience of it. You know, it's real, man. Real stuff. The experience of it and what happened has become like just as good as gold. And so right now I'm in the process of transmuting that. Right now I'm in the process of helping people who are going through gang stalking to beat gang stalking. I'm the only person in the world that beat it. I'm laying it down for them so they can beat it. I'm laying it down for everybody else. People who want to learn, just in general, learn from the experience to make their life better. You know, I've been seeing it happen. I've been seeing, like, I'll be at a store, and it'll be a car full of girls, beautiful girls. I'll just walk up to the car, like, yeah, you know, I'm famous. And, like, every girl in the car, 9 times out of 10, they're there just because of the gang stalking thing. Not always, you know, not everybody in some way is affiliated with the gang stalking thing. I know that. I'm not, you know, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying oftentimes they will use females, like they will use things like that. Just they will tell the driver, just be on the phone and keep looking at the guy like that. It's simple stuff. They won't know really too much more than what they've been told to do. But I walk up to the car and I just say, hey, you know I'm famous? And immediately their eyes get real big and they like light up because it enters their consciousness. Why would anybody pay me money to just drive around and look at this guy? So there must be something going on within him or in his life that's pretty big, you know? And so I say, yeah, I'm famous. And I drop my experience on him and I tell him like, who I am, you know, everything that's happened, the glory and the power I've got out of my experience. And it's just like, and it's just like, you know, they're all like, wow, I'll Google you. I want to look it up. And they go home that night and they're just like, man, that was weird. I got paid to follow this guy. And then he told me he was famous. And then he told me to Google him. So they're going to go home and they're just going to look it up. They're just going to look it up. And then they're going to see the story. And then they're going to realize like they interacted, who they are as people. They interacted with me but they interacted with my experience. Then they're going to say, then how does this, like, what does this mean to my life? And so it's a thing, it's a process, a thing where it's going to be something that's going to be beneficial to both of us. Our interaction is going to be beneficial. Before the gang stalking stuff happened, I wouldn't have walked up to anybody and just been like, hey, Google me. I just wasn't that type of person. I see now that the gang stalking has sharpened my skills. It's made me just more 10 times potent. If I would have saw a woman like that looked, like I said, these chicks look like they would just walk out of Playboy magazine, I would be thinking back in my mind, man, this woman's gonna think I'm crazy. I'm not gonna say anything to her. Now they know, of course, they're supposed to be, it's all part of the program. They're supposed to be watching me and stuff. So now, I mean, they're already half of them are starting to get familiar with me. And so it's like as soon as they see me, they look like they're already happy anyway. And I just drop it on them. I just put the story on them if I can. Or if they're if they're going by in the car, I just wave at them, smile. I let them know my foundation's solid. I'm grounded. All the cars I see, no matter who they are, I try to wave at them and be friendly. My life where I'm at now is just way different than what it was before this. Like the last 3 weeks, it's just my whole life is just changing to something else. And so, I see now that my life is going in a completely different direction. The conspiracy research was just, I don't know, it was just a catalyst to shape me for what I needed to go through in the last 4 years. The last 4 years of my life, 2012, 2016, has been a grinding and a shaping of the character that I need to be to do what I need to do in my life. And that is, like, to bring my experience to people, to tell people what happened with me, how they can get through it, yada, yada, yada. And so it's like I've been blessed. I've been blessed. I realized I've been, it's just incredible. And it's hard for me, I don't know, it's hard for me to really put it into words. It's like when I see people who go through the gang stalking and stuff, they choose to live it through that experience of, oh my God, people are following me. Instead of reshaping that experience and using it as a catalyst to do what they really need to do. Now for me, I actually, to be honest with you, it's gotten to the point to where, like, if I go outside and I go walking and I don't see, like, the cars and stuff like that, if they stop doing it for a while, I actually feel like, man, I hope they, like, where are they at? I want them to come back out, It's turned into that type of thing. And so I just want to lay my experience down for people a little bit more. All right.